Version 5.53 of the SmartEP has been released and incorporates some new exciting features and capabilities, some of which many of our users have asked for. This short video will walk you through what is new. If you're planning on updating your software, please be sure to read through the installation guide on the main update page and make sure the new software is compatible with your device and your computer. One change you'll notice right away is the option to simultaneously display the EEG from both channels in the same EEG viewing panel located on the right side of the main SmartEP screen. Now, the EEG from channel A is displayed in red color and the EEG in channel B is displayed in blue color. In addition to the ability to switch between the right and the left channels, you can set the viewing panel to display both. One new feature, which many of you have asked for in the past, is the ability to display or hide the contralateral response when recording from both channels, during and after recording. To demonstrate this, I will start recording a click ABR on myself while the acquisition mode is set to both. Instead of clicking on acquire, I will type the letter G on my keyboard. G for Go is a quick way to start recording, which you may not be familiar with. As with the previous version of the software, the recordings for both channels are displayed. The IPSI recording will now always be shown above the contra recording. Now let's say I wanted to hide my contralateral response while the recording is in progress or even after acquisition is completed. I will activate my ipsilateral recording and I can go to the Show menu and uncheck Show Contralateral Recording and it will be hidden. If you have the contralateral recording selected, it will not hide the contralateral recording until you click on another recording, as it will not hide an active or selective recording. Basically, if your contra recording is green, it will not hide itself until you select another recording. Now let me show the recordings again, and while we're at it, I will do a fast rate recording in IPSI mode, which will come handy for another feature I'll show you later on. We have incorporated a quick way to simultaneously select recordings that were acquired in the same run. I select the IPSI recording from my first run, and then, holding down the Control key on the keyboard, I press on the S keyboard key. Notice that the IPSI and contra runs that were acquired together are now both active selected. To move both of these recordings together, I will hold down the Control key and use the arrow up and arrow down keys to move both recordings together. This also works if you manually selected more than 2 recordings and makes moving multiple recordings up and down the screen faster. Holding down the Control key while moving the recordings with the mouse also works. In previous versions of the software, it was not possible to compare 2 same-ear recordings acquired at different rates. This is now possible, and I will show you how. I first select the recording from my slow rate, hold down the Control key, and select the recording from my fast rate. I can either go to the Process menu and compare selected, or go to the Compare tab of the Recording Information panel here, and the peak 5 latency difference, which is calculated automatically, is displayed. Starting with this version, the customized page labels will be saved as part of the report, which will make it easier for those of you who use different sets of page labels in your clinic. We have now added more flexibility when it comes to report printouts. In the Print menu, you will find an option to enable or disable the printing of the recording parameters or the peaks in the automatic tables that print at the bottom of the page. We have also added the software version number and serial number to PDF reports. Some new keyboard shortcuts include Control-C, which clears the current page, and Control-N, which opens the patient demographics. The N1 latency information has now been added on the vent report printouts. Other background changes include the ability to save and export the SNR, FSP, FMP, and residual noise, as well as the sweep history. The last big change was made in the P300 module. We have expanded the stimulus presentation options for P300 mismatch negativity and added an option to choose to reject or accept the common after odd stimulus, and an option to introduce stimulus jitter. When selecting the special 50-50 non-random sequence along with the rejection of the common after odd sweep, the generated sequence is common, common, odd, common, common, odd. When not selecting the rejection of the common after odd, the sequence is simply common, odd, common, odd, common, odd. If the special 50-50 option is not selected and the percentages are entered as 50-50, the sequence is randomized. No special sequence is used. The stimulus jitter may be entered as a value from 0 or off to 100%. This jitter is an added delay to the stimulus ISI. The smallest ISI will correspond to the selected rate. The P300 MMN parameters will automatically be saved when the settings file is saved under the same name as the settings file, but with a P3 extension. We've also added a P300 trigger offset timing. In previous versions, the trigger outs were generated at time 0, and in this version, an offset value may be selected to generate the trigger. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. As usual, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our technical support team.